I'm Tyler, and this is Will, and together we make Bacon Decker. Welcome back to the podcast. This week, what?
I was going to say, well, did it the first try.
Never mind, we're going to retake. I don't like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. What do you mean? I thought you were looking at me like I did it wrong.
No.
Oh.
Do you really want to do it again?
You know what? We'll just keep it in.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, let it go. Let it go. Welcome back. Man.
We try to switch the intro, one of us doing it every other time, and we always have trouble on the first take. But I thought you thought that the first take wasn't good. So
no.
Anyway,
you did a great job, and you did it first try. So.
Not that it really matters. Welcome back.
Yeah. We've had, our 2 weeks to gather our thoughts and our feelings.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Amazon is out here trying to take my job.
You're going to have to elaborate.
So, basically, last week, not the week I just worked, but the week beforehand, so right after we filmed the previous podcast,
yes,
I was off every day besides Monday. I wouldn't say I was off, but I was on call because our volume wasn't high. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't have our normal volume because Amazon has decided to start trying to deliver their stuff down here. Mm-hmm. And so they took all their packages at first. They took all their packages back and they sent their drivers out to deliver them. Mind you, they don't have a hub like in Bowling Green, so they're driving an hour or two to, come up here and deliver their packages. Mm-hmm. So when they took all that volume off our trucks, I didn't get to work. So
had a little mini vacation, huh?
Yeah, a little one. But then this last week, they gave us the volume back, so got to work.
So they realized it was a bad decision, more or less, or they just can't handle it.
I think what they were doing is they were just trying to trial it to see what they could do from
trying to cut costs
from far, maybe. Because, dude, if they take over and do all their stuff, I might have to go work for Amazon.
I've seen a lot of their trucks around here lately, so
yeah.
It definitely seems like they're trying to put their, hand in the fold as far as like trying to really get out there and instead of paying y'all, I guess. I'm sure you guys have some kind of deal with them. Same as
FedEx,
they do. Or FedEx doesn't deliver Amazon, does it?
I'm not sure.
I was wondering if y'all had like an exclusive deal.
Yeah, with them. I know Amazon, because they don't have a hub here. They have been pushing their packages through us. I don't know if they do it through FedEx too, but yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of packages.
Most of the packages I deliver in a day are Amazon.
I mean, there's a reason that they make so much money, and he's rich and famous now. It's because, Amazon just blew up.
Well, it's weird because, and I've told Krista this, but Amazon is basically eBay where you buy new things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Like
I buy something from Amazon probably at least once a month, if not every other week.
And that's weird because I don't get on like Amazon kicks. I don't even understand Amazon. Like, I would rather just look it up on Google and then find,
I have the Amazon Prime. We anytime we buy anything, all the stuff for the setup, everything like that is all through Amazon, except for when we went to buy the camera at Best Buy. Mm-hmm. That was the only purchase I can think of that I.
Did we get the Blue Yeti off of Amazon?
Yeah, I bought it off Amazon because I got the Amazon Prime, so I got free shipping on anything. But when I was younger, when I first got Amazon Prime, I would buy something all the time, like a new movie or all my Dragon Ball Z series I bought through Amazon.
Yeah.
All of them. Just because it's, like you said, really easy to find anything and everything. And you got like trusted sellers that are, it's brand new packaging.
Yeah.
So it's like you might as well go to Walmart or a store and buy the product the same way what you're getting in shipping. Mm-hmm. I will say, like, if you're collectibles and stuff, like pop figures, you take a chance. Because it is shipping. Yeah. So, sometimes it could be damaged or any type of collectible. But other than that, if you're just buying general stuff that you could throw the box and it's not going to damage the product, then I don't see nothing wrong with it as far as, buying through Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, how it gets to my doorstep, I don't really care about. Obviously, I'm a little biased. Hopefully, you don't lose your job with it. But as long as my packages keep showing up, I'm happy.
I think it's so funny. The Amazon guys, they drive around in these little Mercedes vans. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, how do you make an 8-hour day out of a Mercedes van?
Yeah.
We're out here offloading these huge trucks. Especially in these heavy residential areas. We got these big, long trucks that...
Might not. Unless they go back for another load.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. But I do not understand how you could turn that little amount. I mean, unless it's like packed, not organized, just packed all the way up. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Trying to load those as well compared to your big trucks, like
yeah,
the
I couldn't imagine crawling in there.
I mean, unless you got like a guy inside stacking them and the other guy like throwing them in there to you or somehow. But yeah, trying to climb up inside of the vans would be annoying.
Yeah, there ain't no telling how they do that. I know when we do like peak season, we'll rent a bunch of vehicles from like U-Haul or Penske, and we'll get the vans too. And loading those is a pain and a half because then exactly how you were doing it, we were loading them. So one guy would like stack them out for you, and then you'd have to go in there and crouch walk in there and set them where they need to go, and hopefully when you're driving it they don't fly everywhere.
And Penske, we rent trucks from them if one of ours go down. A lot of times, like if you see a Mountain Dew truck and it's not a Mountain Dew like logo or Pepsi logo on the side of the truck, it's because it's probably we had maintenance issues with ours, and I don't know if we have like a deal with Penske or that's just the go-to person in the area to like rent another semi out of. But yeah, we'll just they'll drive the new Penske one to wherever the truck broke down at, switch it out, and then they will get a wrecker to bring the old one back to the plant. So
wait, how do you load all those pallets on the
Penske truck?
Yeah.
No, they just switch out the trailer. So the trailer, they unhook the truck from the trailer.
I'm stupid. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're
stupid.
I mean, it's normal. Yeah. No, they don't switch out the trailers. They just pick up the other trailer. That would be insane. Can you imagine just seeing a forklift like rotating them off the side of the interstate?
That's what I was
something?
thinking. I was like, dude, that would be madness.
Yeah, that would be insane. But at that point, they probably just haul it back to the warehouse.
They just have the wrecker take it to the next stop.
Yeah, if you could just stop by Walmart and all these other stores on the way through, and we'll just handle the rest.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. I could, Leave it to me to think of the hardest way to do something.
It's like just brain farts, honestly. There's so many times throughout the week I just face palm myself. Like, what was I thinking? Like, wow, God, why would I do that way instead of another way? Yeah. But
well, we got the new games up.
Yes,
that's pretty exciting. Starting the playthrough series. So
obviously, it's not entertaining to everybody on the channel. I think a lot of people watch for us. So like, I know my grandparents don't watch the video game stuff. They're like, well, that's cool, but we don't really like video games. I was like, I would hope not. It's not really the audience you're going for. You don't see like the Gramps out there watching. It's like, I like that Call of Duty series you guys got going. But overall, both of us are excited. William discussed it in the first part of his playthrough as far as like that's like your intro to the editing stuff.
I've never, well, especially with the program that I'm using, but like I've hardly ever edited videos in the past. But now like I'm learning the new program, but it's coming quick. You guys are seeing the videos.
And I've watched the ones you've put out so far, and I think they've improved from like the first one. Like you can tell that you're realizing where to cut, how to cut, what to put in, take out. So I mean, and that's what I started out on too, was gameplay videos. When I first got the Adobe Premiere is what we used, but when I first got it, I was always afraid of like trying to do an in-person video, like any of the bro down stuff you guys see, or even these. Like I was always afraid of doing in-person videos because the gaming stuff you could cut in and out, and it was no like how did I look in it, how did I feel in the video. So it was a very easy way to kind of step into the editing shoes. And I mean, I watched a ton of YouTube videos on how to edit. I mean, I didn't have no go-to person at all. It was like, I want to do YouTube, I'm going to learn how to do it. And obviously I've learned some things. I'm not saying I'm no professional by no means. Like my videos are not like, I don't have some editor that went to school for it or learn all the tips and tricks. I don't have Photoshop, so like a lot of times when you see stuff edited, a lot of times it's through Photoshop and that they import it to the video editing.
The video.
So, but overall, I've had a lot of fun with Blair Witch so far. I have beat it at this point, but I had a lot of fun with the series altogether. It took a turn I didn't expect on mine. Of course, you went with a game you've...
I've played before, and it more or less, like I had stated in the very first part of the playthrough, it's just kind of get my feet wet and, using the editing software and playthroughs in general. Other playthroughs to come, they'll be more exciting, hopefully, and, I'm still kind of like learning how to dialogue in between parts of the mission and such. So
and exciting for after this video comes out, this Tuesday after this, our duos will start our playthroughs that we played together. So we're pretty excited for that. We had a lot of fun with the game that we chose to start it off on. We actually just finished it today, so we're already kind of... It was crazy. It was a lot of fun, and it was...
a lot of hard work.
Yes.
For no reason.
Yeah, and we were both trying to still figure out how we wanted to kind of do the duos to, like, who was going to intro. If we were going to intro, do we just roll into it? What did we want to do with it? So... we're always learning, trying to figure out what we want to do with each one. So.
Yeah. Too much thought goes into it, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The old saying, too many dreams, not enough talent.
Yeah.
That's definitely
still working on that talent part.
Yeah. We'll find it eventually. We just haven't. I don't know. This week's kind of a random week for us, so we try to catch up. Not a lot has happened on my side of things. I mean, other than Amazon going on with you. As far as the week... 2 weeks ago.
I guess I can say, I guess this is kind of a big thing, but my sister moved in with me.
That is a big thing.
Yeah, so our mother's boyfriend kicked her out. So now I have Alyssa living with me, and her cat is living there, and the dynamic of the cat and cat is interesting.
The territory?
Yeah, they're, see... her cat isn't obviously being very aggressive because, he knows it's not his area. Right. But, my cat Aurora, she is just...
not happy.
Sees him and just growls.
So are they both male cats?
No. Aurora's a female cat,
okay.
and her cat's a male cat, so...
Gotcha. That also makes a difference, too. I'm surprised that the male cat's not more aggressive.
You would be surprised. But he's a nice cat. I mean, he also doesn't have his front claw, so that might have something to do with it. He feels like he's not equipped.
I always said that if I had a cat, I'd have to get rid of the front claws because, like, a lot of times they do stuff not even intentionally to, like, hurt you. It's just their defense mechanism, you know?
Yeah. Well, you pick them up a certain way, and they'll, pull their claws out just because they think they're going to fall or something.
Yeah. Or, our cat, my grandparents' Tiger, he meads a lot. I think is what they call it. Kneading or whatever. And he doesn't even realize, but he just take the full claws right into the legs, like, oh, we get comfy. Ha ha ha.
It's like them showing they love you and stuff. Yeah. So, like, my cat will sit on my chest or something and start doing that, and it's like, all right, easy,
I get it, you love me, but this hurts, so I don't like this.
Yeah, so that's been interesting dynamic to watch unfold. They're slowly getting used to each other, but...
Which we always had a lot of cats growing up. Like, one would just show up at the door, and my grandparents just couldn't tell us, like, no, we can't get another cat. So, like, we'd have one cat for a long time, and then another one just randomly show up. So we'd have, like, this kitten versus old cat that's like, I'm too old for this kind of situation. Yeah. And every time it was always the same. It's like, for a couple weeks or even a month, you're really ticked off at each other, and then by the end of the month, they're just like... they just walk right by each other. It's like whatever. We both live here.
Yeah.
It's like the roommates that broke up, but they're still roommates. And it's like, I don't like you, but we live here together.
Jeez Louise. Yeah.
That is a big change. So, like, is it going to be long term or
no? It's a short term
transition.
Yeah, she's looking at moving up to Washington State.
That's a long ways.
Yeah. So right now we're just kind of like helping her get set up so she can do the move, essentially.
Gotcha. That's cool. It's funny how it, like, rotates. Like, you got back and you stayed here with us, and then you got your own place, and then you got somebody staying with you. It's like a constant cycle of somebody just needing something.
Yeah, some help. But,
that's cool.
You do what you can.
Yeah. I mean, and it doesn't hurt y'all any. I mean, y'all have the room.
That's what I told her. Is I was like, we have the room, know, and...
as long as both parties knows it's not like a
permanent,
long-term thing, and you set in some kind of date, like how long, so that all parties. I mean, you are engaged. You have like a family you're trying to work on as well. So especially with the wedding and everything this year, so
a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
moving parts wise, which Krista told me this morning. She said that like I think it's England, France, and Italy are all locked back down.
Yes, they had a spike and increase. In cases.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So she's kind of freaking out about the wedding now, which I'm pretty sure we still have travel restrictions or something.
Yeah. But the thing is, if those countries are so far away from, like, on a scale of things, as far as, like, all of the U.S. is really, our vaccine shots are really going through and going well, which I think that's one of the things with Italy is they said only a certain percentage has been vaccinated, so they're not having the same results that we are. So it's hard to judge the entire world off of one country that might shut back down or open back up. Every area is different. You might have you have different populations, different
population
people,
densities and other
different
things,
age groups. Who's doing what, when, and where. So, but it is scary. I mean, we went through the same thing with ours. I mean, we thought back last year when we pushed it from May
to
October, like in October everything would be fine, and then here we are in the next year. It's like still not 100%.
Not fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it gets over soon.
We got to the point though. We were like, we're gonna have the wedding. We're gonna be there, and whatever happens, happens. So like, we had the only people that wore masks was the caterers, Donato's, all wore masks. But other than that, we had a couple of visitors that chose to wear a mask, but there was no like you had to.
Yeah, there was no mandatory thing,
and there was no like restrictions on how many people. They did like try to seat us separate or like spaced out if we wanted it or anything. The venue did. So it's just a matter of how each person felt. So like, we didn't care. We were like, if you're coming to the wedding, you're choosing to be there. You know the risk at this point in October. If you go to something, that's part of the risk of going somewhere. But it turned out great. We had a lot of turnout. We had a lot of people that didn't come. I think we talked about that before, though. Like, I had a lot of people I thought was going to be there that weren't there.
Yeah.
But with COVID, I just assumed that's probably what it was. It's like, if you're not necessarily included in the wedding, if you don't come, I understand.
Yeah.
We both understood that some people just weren't going to be there or only stayed for a small amount of time. So, but hopefully everything goes smoothly for y'all as far as during the summer. Should be a lot better. You won't have that flu season, if it's flu or is it COVID. Especially with allergies too here in Kentucky.
They're miserable, man. They've already been hitting me.
My brother, we're on that subject, he's quarantining right now because he's waiting for results because he thinks he has allergies, but his work wanted him to get tested, so they have to wait until they get the results back for him to find out. So at this point, we don't know yet, but I haven't been around him, so it wouldn't affect me any. But like my nephew is with my grandparents, so they're having to keep him until they get the results back to make sure it's not, which is always a risk because, I mean, they could come down with it at any point with them both working in retail.
Yeah.
There's any chance that any of us could, but by the time you knew, it'd be too late. Like 5 days for it to really take effect before you...
Dude, I mean, it took me 7 days. 7 days to get infected with it, so to speak, because once Krista got it, I mean, I didn't pop until day 7 on the test, so...
Which did we talk about you taking the test? Did you talk about if it was bad or not? Because I don't remember even asking you. How was it?
I don't remember if we did or not, but I will say it was a horrid experience. I mean, horrid.
I've heard good and bad. I've heard some people like, oh, it's not that bad, and some people like, oh, it's the worst test.
I guess it depends on if you've done cocaine before. Because essentially they stick this swab up your nose, and the way I explained it to Alyssa is, it is as if, you know that burning sensation you get right before you're going to sneeze? Mm-hmm. It's like that constant feeling, while they're rubbing it up there. Because the first time I got it, I was like, oh, this isn't as bad. You know? Because then they just hold it up there for like a second.
Because the flu test is kind of the same way, but I've heard it was like it went further than the flu test did. Or I guess they're more thorough with it.
Well, I think with the flu test, they just go to the back of your throat, don't they? And then through your mouth. And then they go through your nose. Maybe I could be wrong. I can't.
Is it strep? Strep, they do the throat, I thought. And then And then flu, I think, is the nose. I remember some kind of tube going up my nose for a flu test. And
I never had a flu test, so.
And they're like, just grip the side of the table and just, let me do what I need to do.
Grip the side of the table?
Yeah, like the doctor's table you sit on with the paper or whatever. Yeah. Like, just hold the sides and then just close your eyes. I was like...
what I did the whole time they were doing it is I was just blowing air out my nose. Yeah. I didn't know what else to do.
What was I? I was lost my train of thought. Man, I forgot. I was going to ask you, how long did it take to get your results back from that?
So it depended.
I'm trying to figure out with hunters.
So if you get the PCR test, not the rapid, then it takes 2 to 3 days.
Because
I got mine back on the second day, and then the second time I got it back on the second day, and that's 2 days later, not like the next day. So the first 2 times I took the test, I got it back on the second day, and then the last one I got it back on the morning of day 4.
So that should be, he should get his results back today or tomorrow, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because they went 2 days ago to get tested because on their way to go get tested, they had somebody rear-end them, like in her car. But it was at a stoplight, so it wasn't like a lot of damage. So they didn't even report it because you couldn't even see nothing.
That's illegal.
It's illegal not to report.
Yeah, you have to report a traffic collision. You don't have to file an insurance claim, but you're not.
Well, yeah, the cops were there. So yes, to insurance though, because there was no damage. But they did call the cops and handle that. But they didn't have any insurance because they said it was literally just a little black smudge from her vehicle that rear-ended them. They drive a white Altima, so it's just a little black smudge. You couldn't even really see anything. Didn't crack the fender or anything. So
yeah,
we're not going to report it on insurance, which makes sense. I mean, if it's not enough damage, I don't know what that was. It just fell. Yeah. If there's not enough damage to report, I mean, you could get rear-ended a week later. Then you got 2 claims to the insurance for the same bumper that you know, unless you got some kind of show car that you're trying to keep pristine, a Nissan Altima, especially retail or in parking lots all the time. That's why my car, I don't even try to look at my car a lot of times because the parking lots I park in, I just assume at some point a cart's going to hit it.
Yeah.
And I just rather not know.
You don't just park way up in the back.
I park all the way at the end. And it's become instilled in my mind so much because at Save a Lot I park towards the end of the parking lot because that's where we're supposed to park when we work there. And then at Clark, I parked pretty far away because, once it gets busy, I didn't want to have to fight traffic, try to get out of the parking lots. And then going to Pepsi, it's the same thing. So I always park at the end of a parking lot, and Gabby absolutely hates me for it because you think a big guy like me doesn't like walking. I'm just so used to it that I don't even think about it. So I'm just like, oh, look, empty parking lot down at the end. Now let's well park. I don't have to worry about nobody parking too close to me. And I'll start driving down the lane. She's like, do not park down here. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to turn around and go back up and see if I can find it. I'm like, no, I'm just going down the lane. I'm going to come back up through. And I'm like, glad she said something because I would have whipped right in there. But
made her walk all the way there. That's funny.
Because, she's not used to it as much as I am. So me, I don't think about it. But she's like, I'm not walking all the way up there. And then sometimes it's raining, and I'll still do it. Yeah. She's just like, it's raining. I'm like, oh, yeah. And we're gonna
my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. I can say I never park that far away when I go to a supermarket, but
if you drive past the Kroger on Scottsville Road, I'm literally at the last before you get to the little half road there, in the parking lot where the stop sign's at. I'm usually on the other side of that concrete barrier. I'm at the very last couple of ones.
Jeez.
I made the mistake one time to park where the drain was, and it come an absolute monsoon, and my car wheels were literally a little bit underwater. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh man, I literally had to walk through the water, so my feet were soaked entirely. I was like, I could have waited, but I was like, I had to get to the next store. I was like, okay, places to not park is over here where the drain's at in the parking lot because it doesn't drain fast enough, or at least that day it was raining really hard.
Yeah, it was probably just raining real hard. So, at UPS. I think my biggest worry is not when I get there in the morning, but when I'm leaving, because towards the end of the day, a lot of people are coming and going, and trucks are moving around the yard and all that stuff. So we have a parking lot that they have to drive trucks through, and then we have a back lot that's a gravel lot where everybody else parks too. But it's just so sketchy coming out because you're especially my little Dart, you can't see this tiny little car coming around the corners and stuff until it's too late. So I'm just moving real slow. We got to peek around the corner, and then the way out, right? So the facility's here. When we get, we come in this way and we come around, and then we park the trucks in here to unload our pickups or whatever, and then they'll take the trucks and then they'll park them somewhere else, to get them out of the way so more trucks can pull in and get unloaded. So, and then we're parked on this side out here, and, you got to kind of come around this side of the building to go and get out onto the road. So there's a blind spot right here.
Right.
And you just hope, because it's also the way to the customer counter, and a lot of customers will come back and come through that. They won't think, oh, there's going to be cars coming on, so they'll come flying through there, and you're slam on your brakes. Dude, yeah, it's you got to be careful out there, you know.
Especially all those guys ready to go home.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of there, and yeah. So
I seen a FedEx truck last night. I almost sent you a Snapchat video of it. It was being towed. And I was like, dang, he got fed up.
He said, I quit.
Yeah. Either that, I guess they just break down a lot. Do you guys have a lot of trouble with your trucks, or are they pretty nice shape?
It's well, I wouldn't say they're in nice shape.
They run.
They're holding together. So that our mechanics do enough to make sure that they can go deliver packages the next day.
Yeah, because I see a lot of FedEx trucks. It seems like broken down.
Well,
so
you know
maybe it's just I notice those now more. Maybe at the same time.
FedEx is just
they are the bottom dog as far as the three. I mean, I feel like the government surely God pays their people better for their packaging compared to FedEx, and then you guys are like top tier as far as.
I watched a video, and this guy was like, heck, 90% of the time, you see a tractor trailer pulled over on the side of the road or hitting somebody or doing something stupid, it's a FedEx truck. And I was like, well, geez.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to crap on them, but like,
yeah.
They're, even when we went through driver school, they're like, man, they're drivers, they're just not trained as good as you are, and they don't care about their job like you do.
Which, in that wreck in Texas, the 100-car pilot, wasn't there a FedEx truck in it?
There
was a Coke truck in it. I know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it could have been anybody, but it was just like you said, those are the ones
you see it coming, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy video. I could not believe that. When you sent that to me, I was like,
yeah, when I watched the actual video with the sound and like hearing those cars crumple and stuff, like I was just like, God, like every time, all I could think was all the times I drive on the interstate, and I'm just like, oh, no, thank you. Like if it ever,
well, because you come up, because what it was is it was a hill, so you came up over that hill, and then the pileup was right there, and
the black
you do that
too.
all the time out here, and you're just like,
yeah.
Ever since I saw that video, every time I go to crest a hill, I'm just like, let me just be sure.
My grandparents has got a blind hill on their road going towards their house, and if the sun hits it just right, you can't see anything, and the people that live out there are comfortable with it. They pop that hill going 35, 40 or whatever. I try to go at least 20 just to pop the hill, because there's not enough room really for both vehicles to have any give. Like you both have to be acknowledging each other. And every time I pop that hill, I just assume somebody's going to pop that hill about 45
and just smack right into it.
Smack head on. Because I'll try to stay over on my side and hope to God that they do too. But there's a lot of roads like that here, and I guess in the world in general. But like just the blind hills, it's like, why didn't they just make the road flat in some places where it seems like they go up and then just dip down into a dip and then keep going? Like you could have just built the road up a little higher, made it more of an even surface. And I guess both of our vehicles are the worst about it, with it being both being like cars, whereas trucks you can kind of see over a little bit better.
Yeah, well, and that's, thank God for the UPS trucks, being as high off the ground as they are, because it's sketchy. You come up because you're thinking, man, there's going to be some teenage doofus flying through here in his BMW, at 50 miles an hour on this corner just because it's a country road or something, And so you're coming up this hill and you're just like,
I used to be that doofus. With the Challenger, I used to be the doofus.
We've all been there at some point. When I lived in California, I was that doofus, but
I can't imagine trying to drive like that in California. Like I'm used to these roads here in Kentucky, and I was driving like an idiot on those.
Well, the I-5 is awesome, man. I love the I-5. Driving that thing was killer. And it's like 4 lanes on each side. So.
Which I think a lot of roads here are 3 lane on the interstate here in Kentucky, but once you get to, is it Alabama or is it Tennessee, they're like 2 laned.
Yeah, Tennessee turns into 2 lane, except for around Nashville.
There should be no interstate at this point that is 2 laned, with all the semis on the road on top of the vacationing traffic and people going back and forth. 2 lanes is just not enough, because everybody that isn't a semi is just fighting for that left lane, and they're cutting in and out of the semis, and I think that's where a lot of the wrecks happen. It's just like, if you had just an extra lane, and even then, like if traffic's backed up, 3 lanes gives you that extra lane. Maybe you can get over into one of them to get through the accident. But Gabby and her family went to Gatlinburg, and they almost were in an accident. And it was like 2 days after that big pile up in Texas. And she said all I could think was the pile up in Texas. She's like, I just literally like flashed in my eyes. I was like, yeah. And I mean, anytime I drive on the interstate right now, like that's the first thing I think of. Like semis and stuff, I pay attention. Because the issue was with that one too, like you said, when you pop the hill, well then you don't have no time, because you're
it's
going
right
from
there. Yeah,
you're going 75 to zero. Because, I mean, they're dead stopped, and it's bad weather, and you're sliding in, you know.
I mean, and on top of that, you got to think, these guys that are driving these big rigs, nah, that ain't stopping.
Yeah.
That is basically a meteor coming straight for, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not anybody's fault, so to speak. You know,
No.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance, and no way you could have prevented it.
Yeah, it's probably, honestly, a 2-car pileup. It probably was a
basic
like accident.
One guy just like slid on the ice and tapped into somebody else, and then that started a chain reaction.
A domino effect.
Yeah.
But insane. We'll try to get on a lighter subject, though, instead of
moving along.
dwelling about car accidents.
Yeah. Hope all those people are okay, though.
Yeah. The ones that did not make it, like it was awful, though. Anyway, we'll try to change.
Yeah, try to move to a different
subject. Did you see that Taco Bell has a chicken taco?
Yeah, I saw that, and they also brought back the potatoes.
I did see the potatoes. I want to say right now, the Taco Bell on the bypass is by far the worst Taco Bell.
The one across from Walgreens?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the worst Taco Bell I've ever experienced.
Buddy.
I try to be. It's not the people. Let's put it that way. I have never had any issues with the employees there, but I literally just got 2 combos, and I was missing one of the chalupas. I got the chicken chalupa combo. I got 1 chalupa. I didn't get the taco or.
Well, then it is the employees.
Okay, yeah. Whoever's putting it in the bag is not paying attention. But I'm saying on a personal level, I haven't had any issues with.
They didn't disrespect you.
Right. Yeah. They were really nice. It just wasn't good service altogether. And then hers, she got all of hers, but they left something awful in hers. But yeah, she got the potatoes, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they had them back.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, the chicken taco looks
fire. I also want to try McDonald's chicken sandwich.
Yeah. There's the chicken sandwich from McDonald's. Also, Zaxby's has got theirs. They have a spicy Zax sauce now, so I really want to try that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm curious if it even tastes like Zax sauce just with more heat, or if it has like a completely different taste. Because Zax sauce is one of those things that it's just so exact. Like when people compare sauces, like, oh, that tastes like Zax sauce, or that kind of tastes like, or at least here, Zax sauce is like the comparison to like the cane sauce and those signature sauces and stuff that some restaurants have.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of that has the? I think McDonald's has a signature.
Well, they have the
sauce.
Big Mac sauce.
Yeah, but I think they have another sauce like in a packet you can get, or maybe they got rid of it, but you used to ask for signature sauce.
I think you can get Big Mac sauce in the packet.
Maybe it's the same.
But back to the Taco Bell on the bypass, because that brings up an interesting point. Did I ever tell you the story about when me and Krista got there and then they weren't taking card?
I think so, because I was telling you how I had the same issue where they said they didn't have beef. Like they had no beef, and then when we got to when I ordered chicken with it, and then when I got home, there was beef in the taco. I was like, why'd you tell me that you had no beef? And then I ended up with
put beef in it. Well, so those of you that haven't heard the story, and also those of you that don't live in Bowling Green and know about the Taco Bell that we're talking about, there is, once you get in line, you get to a certain point in line.
Yeah.
There, you can't get out, right? It's one lane, and it's all concrete blocked in, so you have to go through the line. Well, it was very busy that day. Fine, we were waiting in line. We get up to the box, and we're like, giving our order, and they're like, oh, before you continue, we're not taking card right now. Our card machine's down. We only take cash. And I was like, well, I don't have any cash in my wallet, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, we then proceeded to wait for over half an hour to get out of the line.
Because when he says there's concrete on both sides, it's like a foot tall concrete.
Yeah, ledge, like a lip.
Yeah.
So, I'm not getting my little Dodge Dart over it, that's for sure. And you're not getting the Charger over it either.
Literally the day that they shorted our order or whatever, with the chalupa one or whatever, a lady pulled in. And when you pull in, there's also that concrete barrier in the parking lot. It kind of like stretches out further than it should.
Yeah.
The lady ran all over it. I'm talking like, and I look back, and I had my windows up because I hadn't gotten to the window yet, and I just hear a bunch of crunching sound. I look back, and she was out and looking around her car or whatever. I never got to see the damage, if it like ripped her bumper off or anything. But she just got in the line and was like ordering Taco Bell. And I'm like, it couldn't have done too much damage because at that point, I'm not hungry. If I get out, my car's crinkled up in the back from your concrete
I'm
barrier.
just going home. I can't afford this anymore.
It's like, well, I need a new fender, so I'm not getting Taco Bell.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, man. Yeah, so that Taco Bell, not my favorite one. Really?
But you know they do that a lot with any restaurants now. It's like the parking lots are so compact when they build the parking lots. It's like, what were they thinking? That these were going to be empty parking spots, like empty situations? Like everybody was just going to be like going through the drive-thru, not coming in? Because that Taco Bell is not the only one that has like Chick-fil-A's, for example. They built that Chick-fil-A over there on Scottsville Road, the new one. Yeah. And it has a big parking area way behind the speedway there, but not with the building. Yeah. Why wouldn't you put the building where the parking's at and put the other parking like next to the speedway so that people could come in and out of that side road instead of off of Scottsville Road? Mm-hmm. But
yeah, that's a mess. And then the other Taco Bell off of Russellville Road, it has that median, so you can only turn right out of there.
Yes. Yeah, and that light is always dangerous. I've had some really close calls with
because they'll see people come out of that Taco Bell parking lot and still go left. They'll come into the oncoming lane to get over. It's like, bud, you knew what the situation was here, Yeah,
I had somebody go into oncoming traffic yesterday on the way home. We have a lot of one-way roads downtown here in Bowling Green, and right there next to the fire department.
On Fairview?
Yeah, you know how it forks? One's one direction towards my house, like towards the skate park, and the other side's towards like the Save Lot, Fairview Light. Mm-hmm. He was turning to go towards the fire department on the fork next to the emergency, like the medical center. He turned left onto that road, like into oncoming traffic. There was no cars, so I tried waving him down, and he had his left turn signal on, and I was like, no. It was like all in a matter of 15 seconds. He was trying to turn left. And I was like, no, you can't do that, because I was waiting to turn left, but I had to wait till he come through or turn. And he went the other direction. So I didn't want him to change his mind and be like, oh, I can't go that way, and then go straight and then hit me. So here I am just like, no, you can't do that. And he gets mad. He's like throwing his hands up at me, and I'm like, whatever. So he turns onto the road, and I turn left because I had a car behind me as well. Yeah. And I could see them shaking their head too, because they're like, where is he going? Thank God there was no cars coming, because I looked in my rearview mirror and he turned into that first parking lot as soon as he turned. So I think he realized, oh crap, there's cars coming towards me, and realized. So just somebody who hasn't been used to Bowling Green in general, but downtown's not the place to like learn.
Getting mad at you, dude. I hate that.
He did. He's throwing his hands up, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. I tried to tell you that don't go that way. I was like, no, I was trying to wave him. I don't know. I guess I could have started honking or something, but like I said, it all happened so fast that by the time I realized he was throwing his hands up, he was already turning left. I was like, whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to get out of my car and try to tell you, hey, look, you can't go that way.
Go down one street and then you can go. It's not that.
Yeah. Literally, all I had to do is go through the light straight and take the next left, and that was the one way going that direction. Yeah. But Bowling Green is very confusing downtown if you're not familiar with it.
Heck, it's still confusing.
Yeah, you get into a habit of just like, oh, I turn left here, and you're like, oh, wait, it's one light up, because they all look pretty similar. They're all just downtown stoplights.
Luckily, they have been good about putting the one-way signs at like every intersection, so
Yeah, because even on where the park is downtown, a lot of people try to turn at the first light, and it's one way this direction. They'll still try to turn into there. I'll see turn signals coming on all the time, but like you said, you just got to go one light further to go that direction. So confusing, but yeah, I was like, oh, he's going to get hit. Like, he's going to hit somebody. Oh, the high-speed chase happened in front of my house.
Yeah, you didn't even mention that.
A low-speed chase, I guess is what you want to call it. My dad was standing outside. He lives across the road. He said that they were going fairly slow, and that was because she was trying to throw drug paraphernalia out of her car and try to get rid of the drugs, because she had active warrants. Gabby's outside, and I'm streaming, and I hear the sirens. There's like a bunch of sirens going by the house, because I know that probably picked it up on my mic. Well, the reason they were so loud is because they didn't go anywhere. They were in front of the house blaring. And so Gabby calls me. I was like, she knows I'm streaming, so I just hit the little silence button so it wasn't vibrating on the table. And then she calls right back after. I was like, hang on, guys, I'll be right back. And I muted the mic, and she's like, there's a chase going on outside. I was like, what? She's like, there's like a high-speed chase going on outside of our house. I was like, I'm coming up. And so I was like, hey, guys, there's like a high-speed chase going on outside of the house. I've got to get off here. see what's going on. So I go upstairs. I get the gun because I'm not sure
what's going on.
Yeah, if there's like, are these people wanted for like robbery or wanted murder? I have no idea what they're being chased for. Are they under the influence, or are they going to start shooting? My house was literally right like next to where all these cops were lined up on the road. And Gabe was like, yeah, they're yelling and like telling her to get down, get out of the car. So I opened the door. By the time I had opened the door and come upstairs and got the gun, they'd already had her arrested and put in the car. So there was nothing going on. So I just was like, everything's good. I'm going to put the gun back in here. And then now I'm going to walk outside. So that traffic stopped for just a little bit. But they spiked her tires on the way. So
yeah,
she just, finally her car just couldn't go no further.
Yeah.
But just crazy for it to happen like while I was streaming this.
The chances.
Yeah. I think every streamer has like that moment where it's like something crazy happens at their house and you're like, well, side note, guys, this happened. Like I didn't thank God I didn't get swatted or nothing. It's just
God.
It's just a high speed chase outside of my house. Of course, I didn't have face camera or nothing, so you couldn't see anything. But...
Well, could you imagine the SWAT team rolls up while Gabby's outside just chilling?
Yeah, that would be rough. But altogether, just
yeah,
interesting situation. Yeah, that happened. I guess 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
Was it? I mean, it wasn't long ago.
Just like 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, Krista covered it in the news and did a whole story on it. And yeah, she had, like apparently they thought it was like meth. And
I think the news report said methamphetamine, cocaine, and drug paraphernalia.
She said that it was cocaine.
Yeah, and they found some of it on her when they got to the jail too.
Yeah.
So she got thrown some out. Some was, I think, in her car, and then she also still had some on her.
Yeah.
Good God, it's a whole lot of meth. It is Kentucky though.
Yeah,
so, meth is, I guess, our go-to drug as far as like drug charges.
It just depends on which part of the state you live in.
That's true. Yeah.
You go a little farther up north, it's heroin. But
it's rough stuff.
Yeah, don't come here.
Yeah. Our guys are on top of it though. We don't have like a lot of huge drug busts. Occasionally they'll bust some big ones.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, they're just like,
it's mainly either meth or coke though.
Yeah. But I've never wanted to try any of those.
No.
I don't know where you get to in your life. You're like, I'm gonna shoot up some kind of methamphetamine and just see how my life goes. Can't get worse, right?
I don't know. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, could you because they told us all the time, they had us practice drills in the military because, like, there's one called the failure to stop drill, and it's because dudes were over in Afghanistan or Iraq and they were hopped up on like opium or other stuff, and so they wouldn't go down when you shot them. So it's like, okay, got to put a round or two extra in the person.
Well, I mean, you've seen the videos that like the drugs it's insane what somebody can do on drugs.
Yeah,
like their brain and their body just is like in overdrive. I mean, you've seen like the cop videos and stuff, and like some guy just doesn't stop; they just keep walking while they're being shot. It's like that is not human. Like that's not normal.
Yeah, what are you on?
Yeah,
like those bath salt videos.
Yeah,
where those people are just like running and putting their heads through freaking windshields and stuff. Jeez Louise.
It's almost like out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it was like the VHS movies that we watched back like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
They were subtitled or whatever, but it was like that zombie outbreak that they went mad more or less and just did extreme.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Even if you weren't trying to eat people, like the body movements and way they acted was like, this is some weird, weird
like
situation.
Possessing him, dude. Yeah.
But I feel like we're coming up on the hour mark as far as raw time. We just honestly just chit-chatted. I feel like we were more relaxed this time. And I don't want to drag it on for too long if we don't have anything to talk about. It was a pretty good 2 weeks for us, like all together. Like
pretty quiet overall.
I'm glad we made it back for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're back on a roll.
Yeah, for now. We still haven't really talked about the virtual stuff yet still. If we did virtual, I think we're going to do audio only. So it would be a worst case scenario because a lot of you guys enjoy the video file on YouTube. But in case one of us have to quarantine or something, we do have a way.
Well, we could still do... We would still upload it to YouTube, but it wouldn't. There would be no actual video. It would just be like a picture or something.
But overall, we're back for now, and we're hoping that you guys are enjoying the playthrough stuff, enjoying the podcast being back. And we haven't done any bro down stuff, but after talking about the Taco Bell chicken tacos, we might have to go and browse the menu or something. But altogether, it's been a great 2 weeks for my side of things. I think you same way, right?
Yeah, just moving along.
Yeah, getting close to that wedding date.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah, 90 days out and freaking out. Oh, they changed my freaking honeymoon flights, so now they're like a couple hours earlier going there, and then like we've got a long layover now going there, which I guess it's better than coming back, but
yeah, coming back, you just want to get back. There's no like in between. Gabby won't fly, so like we always have to plan. Like we're planning a trip for our anniversary this year, and I think we're just going to go to the Smokies because she just doesn't want to fly. So if we have to drive anywhere, I wanted to go back to Panama City because it's where our honeymoon was. We had a blast. So like, I was like, I don't care to go back there. She's like, well, I'd like to go somewhere different. And I was like, all right, I get that. So she's been to the Smokies. I haven't since I was like 8 or 9. I was very young. I was still like a kid that didn't even pay attention to anything. So I didn't even know where we were all together. But I'm pretty excited to go back. And I think we're going to rent like just a one-person cabin, like a one room. It's like where the bathtub is in the room with the bedroom. Yeah, it's just like a honeymoon suite, honestly. But like there's a kitchen, there's a hot tub. Some of them have like an air hockey table. I was like, that's cool. Like I could just play air hockey, then hop in the tub, and then hop in bed. Like it's all
right there.
Yeah, but there's literally no like barrier or anything. If you look online and like look at the cabins, a lot of them are just like the big jacuzzi tub and like the bathroom, and then there's just the bedroom like right here next to it. So I'm pretty excited for the views. I'm excited for like the atmosphere of it's not hot. So when we went to Panama City, I'm always sweating all the time. So somewhere a little bit cooler, especially in October, would be the perfect time to go to the mountains and just kind of go to Pigeon Forge and I think Gatlinburg is the other place like to go to, like strip mall area.
That area.
So she brought me back some stuff from when she went with her family, and I'm pretty excited to try out like a Bubba Gump shrimp.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for that. Forrest Gump, if you guys aren't familiar, I think we've talked about it, but
our top favorite movies.
Movie. By far favorite movie. Forrest Gump's just all around good movie. And so like they actually have like Bubba Gump shrimp. So she got me a glass and like a little we go camping, like the metal coffee cups.
Oh
what
yeah.
are they called?
Canteen cup.
Canteen cup, yes. She got me like one of each of those, so it's pretty cool. I don't drink out of them; I just put them in my collection. I'm just a hoarder, honestly. It's just I get stuff. I'm like, that's neat. I'm not going to get rid of that ever. But it's not like an unhealthy obsession. It's just like if somebody gets me something, it's like I can't part ways with that now.
Yeah, I have a physical attachment to it now. So.
Yeah, it's a gift. But that's going to wrap up things for this week, guys. I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks, because by the time you see the next one, it'll be 2 weeks. So stay safe. Enjoy the weather. It's getting a little bit nicer here in Kentucky. Just in general, the seasons are changing. So that's going to do it for us, guys. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see y'all next time.